Preeti, you're hearing these various viewpoints. The interesting point was, does the Aam Aadmi Party have the depth anymore? Ashutosh made the point that it could now be rudderless, that Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj may be faces, but can they manage the politics? Now it's politics. It's going to be out on the street. There's an election in a few weeks from now in Delhi on 25th of May. Can the Aam Aadmi Party, if Kejriwal remains in jail for the next 2 months, manage the show?
Well, you know, in Delhi, it will be Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj, but are they the leaders of the caliber of a Sanjay Singh and an Arvind Kejriwal? Arvind Kejriwal had been the plan A, B, C, D of the Aam Aadmi Party, Rajdeep. Sanjay Singh is a politician. He's a street politician. You know, Satyendra Jain will not be missed as a politician, but as somebody who possibly strategized. So would Vijay, who's already, they're all in jail right now. Question, Rajdeep, where is also Raghav Chadha? The absence of Raghav Chadha in all of this will also, you know, interesting. Yes, he has an eye surgery. He is in London, but he will be missed because it was Raghav Chadha who would be possibly facing off cameras in a situation like this, because you have Arvind Kejriwal who's been arrested. The role of Bhagwant Mann now comes in, because now Bhagwant Mann will be the only emissary and the link where the India alliance comes into question. Okay. Bhagwant Mann would always stand in to Arvind Kejriwal. Bhagwant Mann will now have to do a lot of heavy lifting, which questions will be raised, whether he's capable of or not. Atishi, on an administrative level, has been able to, you know, get control of Delhi. She is very well in with the bureaucracy. She's already handling the portfolios of Manish Sisodia without getting the official designation. Saurabh Bhardwaj is pulling some of that weight. But are they politicians? Can they forget about expanding the party, but keeping the party together? Okay. You know, that's the big question. Interesting points there being made by Preeti, who tracks the AAP closely. We'll go back to our guests in a moment. I know that Sanju Verma wants to respond to what she heard from Mr. Sharma, but I want to go to Shreya Chatterjee and Akshita Nandgopal. They're outside the house of Arvind Kejriwal. Are the roads being cleared there? There was a large crowd outside his house. Is the police now clearing the roads up, and has the situation come under control?
Rajdeep, is that for me?
Yes, yes. Akshita, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, Rajdeep, I'm standing right outside the Chief Minister's residence. This area actually was filled with protesters about an hour ago when I came in. But you see a lot of police presence here. The Joint CP just making his way out as I speak. He's refusing to interact with the media. I'll just give you a quick sense of what's happening around me. You've got the Rapid Action Force deployed in large numbers, all on standby right now, waiting and ensuring that if there is a need, they'll step in and push the protesters and supporters who've gathered here in large numbers. So they're gathered and stationed in one corner. This entire area has now been cleared, with many of the AAP leaders who've been, in fact, staying here. They've all been detained as well. Now you've got more AAP supporters who are gathering at this point here, continuing to yell slogans and demanding that Arvind Kejriwal be released. And let me just try to speak to some of them and get you some voices from the ground as well on what they all have to say.
Murdabad, Murdabad! Jindachor, hi, hi! Hi, 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 hi! Jindachor, Murdabad! Murdabad, Murdabad!
All right, so they're all chanting slogans here, but I can tell you that the police has been very proactive in clearing off this area constantly.
Let me stop you for a moment. What you're saying is the police is trying to clear off the area. Meanwhile, Preeti giving us the news, Preeti, that you're saying that in 5 states across the country, the Aam Aadmi Party intends to stage protests. Do they have the cadre on the ground to really escalate this? And importantly, will the opposition join in? Because Mohan Kumar Mangalam, I asked you this earlier, you cleverly skirted that question. The Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress have had a tempestuous relation. Some believe that the rise of AAP was responsible for the decline of Congress, and yet you've tied up Mohan Kumar Mangalam in Delhi with the Aam Aadmi Party. Where does that leave this entire alliance at the moment? Will you all fully support Arvind Kejriwal, or is this now a matter for AAP to handle?
Rajdeep, I think we will fight the national elections in Delhi with Aam Aadmi Party. There is no doubt in that. I think Mr. Kejriwal now has to move legally and find his options legally on how he's going to come out of this or not. And I'll say that, you know, we always talk about Mr. Modi being sort of the master of political theatre, but I wouldn't discount Mr. Kejriwal in that area, in that arena either. In fact, I'd say one of the things that none of you have talked about is there will be a sympathy factor if he does end up spending time in jail during the elections.
Sympathy for what?
That
You
might
see,
well
sympathy
work
for
to
what,
his
Mohan?
advantage.
Mohan, sympathy for what? Today, politicians, here is a neta who said, Sab
You have
neta
heard,
chor hai.
we have
Why
heard,
will
we
there
have
be
heard.
sympathy for him?
One second, Rajdeep.
Yes.
Rajdeep, 95% of cases filed by the CBI and ED are against political leaders, are against members of the opposition. There is constant targeting of the opposition. There is coercion. You will have people in the opposition move to the BJP and their cases have slowed down or disappeared. This is for all to see. The public today realizes that the ED, the CBI and the IT have been weaponized by the BJP for their own political gain. So if there is no money trail, if there is absolutely no prima facie evidence here, and I think this notion of Kavita having given a statement is really bogus. If none of that happens, then I don't see why there wouldn't be sympathy for Mr. Kejriwal in jail. I'm sure there is sympathy for Mr. Sisodia, who spent 2 years in jail, and the ED cannot even file a proper charge sheet to take this matter to trial.
You're hearing that, Sanju Verma, if you're still with us.
I'm there with you.
Very nice. Sanju Verma sent me an angry WhatsApp. You're not giving me enough time. Where am I on the screen? Sanju, we haven't left you just yet, but give me a quick response. As you know, lots of voices are coming. This sympathy factor, you were with the Aam Aadmi Party. Very few people know that in 2014 you were actually with the Aam Aadmi Party. You didn't get a ticket.
Yes, let me finish.
So I want to ask you, ma'am. I want to ask you, how do you see it when AAP says they will get sympathy now because they believe that their leader, this is vindictive action? How will you respond to the charge of vindictive action? Mr. Modi wants to target Kejriwal because Kejriwal attacked him.
Rajdeep, now I'm not going to disclose that you also sent me a namaskar on WhatsApp. Let us keep our WhatsApp chats private.
Okay.
Let us maintain that decorum.
Sure.
I just have to say one thing to you. Respect begets respect. आप मुझे respect दिखाइए, मैं आपको respect दिखाऊंगी. But be that as it may, I was in Aam Aadmi Party. I'm glad you mentioned it. From January 2014 to March 2014, for 3 months. And I was not even a full-fledged member because to be a primary member, they said that you have to be in the party for at least 6 months. But Rajdeep, the smartest decision, the most ethical decision that I ever took in my life, I'm not some seasoned politician, I'm basically an investment banker. The biggest decision that I have taken, and I'm so glad I took it, was to leave Aam Aadmi Party because I realized in 3 mahine mein that these guys are a bunch of crooks. But without making it about Sanju Verma, let me just tell you one thing. Rajdeep, you remember the date, and this is nothing personal about any journalist, but I just want to lay quickly for your audience a few facts. The date was November 26, 2005. A man called Shorabuddin Sheikh died. Amit Shah was incarcerated for it. He faced trial for how many years? 13 years. It was in 2018 that the Supreme Court gave him a clean chit. The date was 27th February 2002, the Gujarat riots. The then Chief Minister of Gujarat and the current Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, the most powerful leader globally, faced incarceration for 20 years. In June 2022, the Supreme Court said there was no criminal conspiracy by Narendra Modi, giving Narendra Modi a clean chit. And even today, there is that cabal from the left. There are journalists who say, "Acha, Narendra Modi ko clean chit kaise mil gayi?" Then the date was 6th December 1992, the Babri Masjid demolition. It took 28 years. It was in 2020 that the Supreme Court gave a clean chit to Uma Bharti, Manowar Joshi, and to LK Advani.
What's the point?
The point is, जब नरेंद्र मोदी को 20 सालों तक लगातार incarceration हुआ, the same people who are today saying democracy खतरे में है, show me 4 statements from Narendra Modi where he said, I will not face trial, democracy खतरे में है. When LK Advani was incarcerated for 28 years, show me 2 statements from Advani where he said that democracy khatre mein hai, I will not face trial. And when Amit Shah was incarcerated for more than 12 years, show me 1 statement from Amit Shah where he said loktantra khatre mein hai.